Hey, Walking Dead fans, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a deeper look into Season 10, Episode 12. So spoiler alert if you're not caught up to Season 10. So as I say, it's a deeper look into the episode. We're going to look at some Easter egg type stuff, some interesting tidbits, and there's some controversial things as well. One of the biggest moments from the episode that you guys say or have said something about mostly in the review video that I did is a thing when Gamma died. So Beta found Gamma as she was trying to lure a small horde of walkers off from a deserted van that Alden, Kelly, and baby Adam had got in. And baby Adam, of course, is her nephew. So she was trying to lure the walkers away. She killed them. She was feeling good about herself. She's done something good. She had held Adam. Everything seemed to be looking up for Gamma, except when she turns around and Beta guts her, sticks her in the gut with his knife. So Beta does kill Gamma and waits around for her to reanimate. And after she does, when she's coming toward Beta, he's going to take her back to Alpha and show her, hey, I got Gamma. She's now a guardian. She will walk with us, which was the name of the episode. But here's the thing that you guys have a little bit of problem with. Alden shoots an arrow and hits Gamma in the head, kills her, doesn't shoot Beta. And the biggest thing, most of the comments saying, why didn't Alden shoot Beta first? Go ahead and get Beta, the big guy, out of the way. Shoot him in the back of the head. If it takes another arrow, you should have time to shoot him again. At least take him down enough you can get close enough to slit his throat, something. Or Gamma, being a walker, would probably bite into him. If he was weak enough and fell, perfect chance for Gamma to bite into him and no more Beta. And if you watch Alden after the fact, it shows him trying to put another arrow into the bow. He's a spear guy. Alden, he's a spear guy. He's not a bow guy. He could have missed. He could have easily been aiming for Beta and missed and hit Gamma. And so when he realized that, he's trying to put another arrow in, but he's fumbling. So it almost looks like he's not a bow guy. He's not good with the bow and arrow. He hasn't practiced. And because of that, he missed Beta. And to me, that's a perfectly good explanation, because a lot of stuff that's just crazy on The Walking Dead that don't make sense doesn't even have a good explanation. At least this one has a plausible explanation. And then there's Carol letting Negan out of his jail cell to go and infiltrate the Whisperers and try to kill Alpha, try to get them from the inside, kind of like how Alpha did with Dante. She sent Dante in to kind of help destroy them from the inside, and that's pretty much what Carol did. So Carol, she had her map out one time, if you remember. She was looking for the Horde. She was trying to destroy the Horde. She sent Negan in, as we found out, as a plan to try to infiltrate the Whispers from the inside, while she was going to try to either distract, destroy, or redirect, whatever, the Horde the best she can. She had a big overall plan, and that's pretty cool, but she kind of went crazy along the way and got some people killed and in trouble and trapped in the cave and stuff like that. So it's like, if some people ask, well, if she had Negan in there, why did she do all that stupid stuff? And, she was pretty broken emotionally as far as over Henry and everybody that died. So she did want to kill Alpha. She chased Alpha into the cave. She did want to destroy the Horde. She did some stupid stuff. And I don't blame her. She knew Negan was out there. Did he make it? Did he fail? I don't think they were in communication. So it was hard for her to know. She just kind of enacted a bigger plan to try to make it happen, because it seemed like everyone else was failing at whatever they were doing to try to fight this battle, fight Alpha. Carol even went off on a boat and came back, and everybody's still like, we're just dealing with it. We're not crossing the border. And Carol's like, F that, she killed my kid. She killed other people. The bitch needs to die. But I do agree with some commenters who said that her reaction, if they had shot her reaction differently instead of just a very calm, took you long enough, I think that would have really helped. I think the calm, oh, Alpha's dead, it took you long enough, just the way that was shot, that it was a surprise ending. It was really cool. It was a great ending. I like that we found out it was Carol and all of that happened. It's just the way she calmly said, took you long enough after all the shit that's happened, after all the crap that she's caused, and even all the crap that Alpha caused. Carol just almost seemed a little emotionless right there. But a lot of things did happen in the episode, with Judith killing a real person, a whisperer. That was pretty big for her. She's definitely younger than Carl when I think he killed his first real person. And Carl was a little more cold-hearted about it at the time. Judith definitely is showing some remorse, but then she had to end up also killing Earl. He was reanimated, but still, she had to put him down. And a teenager, it would be hard enough for a teenager to protect some kids and to put down an adult and kill some people and stuff. But, Judith, she's young, and that's kind of crazy. So we also got Magna. She kind of bloodied herself up, dirtied herself up, and got through the horde. She got out of the cave. Connie also, we learned, got out of the cave. So Connie's not dead, or as far as we know, they were separated. They both got out of the cave alive, camouflaged themselves in, but they got separated. So as of right now, Connie is missing, but we do think she's still alive and she's going to live and still be on the show. And in case you missed it, if you're a comic book fan, there were several little instances and similarities. We've got Beta was called Frowny McTwo-Knives by Negan in the comic, and we got a little part of that in the show as well. That was pretty cool. And in the comic, Negan also called him Jolly Green Giant and Stabby McTwo-Knives. And did you notice the bandage on Kelly's neck? Could that be a bite? She's not sick, and if she got bit anywhere around the same time as Earl, we seen Earl, he looked pretty bad. He was about to die. He had the fever, and he looked pretty bad. Kelly looks in pretty good health, so I don't think whatever wound she has on her neck is a bite. And what about Gamma ripping off Beta's mask and the Whisperer that was there? He was just a normal dude, a normal Whisperer, what we call red shirts. If you are a Star Trek fan, it was the red shirts that always died. Captain Kirk and some of the others would have a yellow shirt on, and they would beam down to a planet, and there would always be that one guy in the red shirt, and you would know he probably isn't going to make it out or off the planet alive. So this Whisperer was just another red shirt, just another Whisperer that saw Beta's face once his mask was ripped off. And we already know from Easter eggs in Fear the Walking Dead, we saw an album cover that had Beta's face on the cover of the album, and it told us he was a country singer. And then we got actually Ryan Hurst, who plays Beta, singing on a track, this country tune, sounding tune, as Magna is listening to it back at Hilltop one day. Yumiko comes in and they're talking, but the record that they're listening to, or that Magna is listening to, is actually Beta's band, or him as an artist back in the day, or whatever, before the apocalypse. And that track, as far as the music goes, was actually an Emily Kinney song who played Beth, because she's a musician singer in real life, and they used one of her tracks to put some Ryan Hurst vocals over to make it seem like a song from his past. So when the Whisperer said, dude, I recognize the voice. I thought that voice was like, man, that's that country singer dude. But now I see your face. It really is you. It really is the country singer dude. And Beta even, did the shh, put his finger up to his lips and said, shh, like, don't tell nobody, dude. But then he just kept on like, oh man, I recognize the voice, but it's really you, man. Beta slits his throat. That's what happens. You just need to be quiet, dude. Just need to shut up, dumbass. But now the question is he going to sew it back together? Is he going to get a different mask? Is he going to put a hood on? A bag over his head with two eyes, kind of like he had back way in the beginning? Wonder what he's going to do. And then there was the one little part with Carol where there was a walker just happened to be right there at her feet, which was kind of crazy in itself, but it reached up and she kind of just patted the hand away, and it was almost like maybe she wants to reach down, let it grab her arm, and bite her and just end it. And, Lydia did that at one point, and Carol stopped her. And it's not that Eugene really stopped her. I just don't think she was going to do it. But, that's how she died in the comic. She died early on in the comic, around the prison time, I think it was. And she pretty much just walked up to a walker and let it bite her. But then Carol finds Lydia's staff just laying there, kind of covered up with some leaves even. How does she find it? How does she see it? And when she did see it, how does she know, hey, something's up. Maybe Negan captured Lydia and he's going to go kill Alpha. I need to go meet him. How did she know all of this? Like some of you guys have said, it was covered up with leaves, so that was a signal. If it wasn't covered up with leaves, it would have just been laying on top of the leaves. That's reading way, way, way far into something. I just don't know about all that. Hopefully they'll maybe tell us a little bit more. But her just finding the staff, I know she knows that it's Lydia's staff. It just makes me wonder a little bit, how she found it in the first place and then how she came to meet Negan, or did he find her? But as far as the death of Alpha, it did happen much like it did in the comic. Several frames line up to be real close to the same, the slitting of the throat, laying her down, kind of holding the back of her head, laying her down. There was one frame I would have liked to have seen. It had been a little gory, but he had just finished cutting the head off of Alpha, and he holds it up as the blood's still dripping and stuff, and he says, "Wait till Rick gets a look at you." And, of course, that would have messed up the reveal with Carol if he had held the head up and said, "Wait till Carol gets a look at you." I thought that was a cool frame from the comic, but it wasn't in the show, but several of them were. They stuck pretty close to the comic as far as frames and some of the shots. Greg Nicotero directed the episode. Thought he did a great job. And Alpha's death, awesome. And one question in the comments that kind of goes back and forth between you guys. Some have some thoughts one way and some another, as far as wouldn't have Negan really killed Alpha if she did repent kind of and say, no, I'm not going to kill Lydia? Did Negan take Alpha out to the little shack? And of course, Lydia was in a different little shack, and we've talked about that in the comments. There's a whole bunch of little shacks around this place. But other than talking to Alpha and just trying to get her to kind of come back to humanity a little bit, to kind of redeem herself a little bit, did he have the intention of possibly not killing her? I personally think no. I think he was going to kill her no matter what. His idea was to slit her throat, cut off her head, take it back to Carol, regardless. I personally think he saw a lot of himself in Alpha and how he used to be, and now that he changed and realized some things about his wife and his past and how he was and how he is now and how he could be, I do think he was trying to talk to Alpha and tell her, look, it doesn't have to be this way. She's your daughter, flesh and blood. And that makes a difference. It really does. It's hard to see sometimes, but it matters a whole bunch. And she said, sorry, I'm going to have to kill her anyway. But I do think he would have killed Alpha regardless, no matter. If she would have said, you're right, Negan, I'm going to let Lydia live and let her just go away somewhere and make a life on her own, and I'll go my way. I do think Negan would have still killed her. But I'm going to wrap it up right here. If there's some other things that you guys saw in the episode, some little Easter eggs or tidbits you want to talk about, let's throw them in the comments below and discuss it down there. And I will see you guys there. As always, guys, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more dead stuff.